This video is based on publicly available information, including an Attorney General's report. I am not making any allegations of criminal wrongdoing, nor am I asserting any legal conclusion. Instead, I am analyzing the report from the perspective of leadership and workplace culture, considering whether or not this is the kind of person I would want to work for. My comments reflect personal opinions and are intended to foster discussion about the qualities we should expect from our leaders.
Before I get started, I want to say this as a disclaimer. I grew up in a house where we had to laugh to keep from crying a lot of times, and I have this habit of laughing in really not funny situations. To be honest, nothing that I'm about to talk about is funny in any way, shape, or form. However, my coping mechanism to deal with the inappropriateness is to laugh, is to giggle. And for that, I apologize in advance. However, when you see wrong, you gotta say wrong. And I see wrong. I also have to acknowledge that real harm was done by the former governor and his actions. People were hurt, and I'm not making light at their situation. I'm more using this as a platform to call out the absurdity of what they had to go through. I hate that they had to go through this, and I'm kind of putting this out so that people can understand how absurd the situations were, and hopefully no one will have to go through it again. I wanted to make a quick video about this. So he's planning on running for NYC mayor, and legally he has the right to do that. I want to talk about two documents that were made public. So in 2021, he resigned from his office as governor because of sexual harassment charges. Each of the allegations levied against him were outlined in this report. I want to acknowledge that there's a difference between something being a crime and something being I don't want to see from my leadership. This report finds that there were crimes concluded. However, a lot of other things were done, even things he admitted to, that I don't want to see leadership doing. Whether it's the governor, whether it's the mayor, the head librarian, my teacher, the shift supervisor at Wendy's. These are things that I don't think you should be doing if you're the shift supervisor at Wendy's, let alone the governor of the state of New York. So there are many allegations made in this document. The report alleges many wrongdoings, and I'm not trying to talk about all of them because that would be a much longer video. I simply want to talk about a couple specific things that he admitted to doing. So if we look at this report on page 7, it's the governor's testimony. In his testimony, the governor denied inappropriately touching executive assistant 1. The governor did state that he often hugs and kisses people, mostly on the cheek, sometimes on the forehead. While he admitted that he may have kissed certain staff members on the lips. While he admitted that he may have kissed certain staff members on the lips without remembering who. Pack them up. Pack them up. Pack. That's enough. You can't do that as the shift leader at Wendy's. I don't care about the legal, no, can't do it. You cannot consensually kiss your subordinates on the lips. No, you can't be the shift leader at Wendy's. You can't be in leadership kissing your subordinates on the lips. I'm sorry. Literally what he said he did. So he's the A. So I'll read it. Q is the interviewer. A, it may have, I don't recall doing it, having a kiss on the lips with her. Q, you don't remember? A, no, but it may have happened. Yeah. Q, but that would have been because A, interrupt. Mostly there are different events. You know, I was at her wedding, so sometimes there's different social functions, but I don't remember that. No. Q, but it may have happened. A, it may have happened. How about other person? A, I don't remember, but I'm not going to rule out that I've ever kissed someone a peck on the lips. About, or half peck on the lips, you know. Okay, pecks, by pecks, you mean lips touching, right? Yeah. Annabelle Walsh, have you kissed her on the lips? Not that I recall, but I may have. Senior staffer, not that I recall, but I may have. You know, these people, this is like 10 years with these people, social event. Pack, no. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is a crime. I'm not with it. I'm not here to talk about the criminality of it. I'm just saying if I worked at this place and wherever, governor's mansion, city hall, if the mayor was trying to kiss me on the lips, pack him up. He gotta go. So I want to talk about another instance. May or may not have been a crime. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not trying to judge legality. I'm just talking about ick. No. So I'll read this. I'll probably play it in fast motion. So I'm going to read it in normal motion, but I'm going to have it play in fast motion. On May 16, 2019, Ms. Bennett had a conversation with the governor during which the governor asked her about the length of her previous relationships and whether she honored her commitments. That same day, she was in the governor's office when he asked whether she knew the song Danny Boy. Ms. Bennett recalled that the governor had a copy of the lyrics with him, and he handed it to her as he asked her to memorize the lyrics. Ms. Bennett spent much of the day trying to memorize the lyrics of the song, and the governor occasionally would pop out of the side door to his office that opened to Ms. Bennett's cubicle and ask her to start singing the song. Pack them up. You can't do that as the shift supervisor at the Parks Department. You can't do that as the assistant coach on the Knicks. Like, you can't do that. And The argument became about legality, whether something's against the law. Something can be totally legal, and I absolutely don't want my leadership doing it. Also, it might be illegal. Let's not rule that out. I'm not a lawyer. Don't want to be a lawyer. I'm not a cop. I'm no kind of legal anything. I don't want to be that. I'm just a dude who notices. I'm just a dude who notices when some things are yucky. Something can be completely legal and absolutely uncalled for. It is perfectly legal to show up to work 10 minutes late every single day. You still shouldn't do it as a boss. If it's perfectly legal to ask your assistant to sing Danny Boy to you, I don't know. Still shouldn't do it as a boss, and it still should disqualify you from being the governor of a state. It should disqualify you from being mayor of a state. It should disqualify you from being the chief of a police department. It should disqualify you from being the head guitarist for Aerosmith. It should disqualify you from being in any kind of leadership position, in my humble opinion. I also want to say that if you don't see what's wrong with this kind of behavior, it might be look yourself in the mirror time, because as a leader, you have to set an example. You have to be the moral compass for the room, and your behavior sets a tone throughout. If you're a leader in a supermarket, how you behave is going to affect the whole supermarket. If you're the leader of a city, how you behave is going to impact the whole city. If you're the leader of a state, of a country, your behavior is going to impact the entire state, the entire country. Hopefully this doesn't apply and you can just let it fly. But if you are confused as to why these behaviors may be unethical or maybe unbecoming of a non-commissioned officer or any leadership, then it might be look yourself in the mirror time. Let's figure out what we can do differently going forward to ensure that people don't feel uncomfortable in our presence. The governor did not dispute that he sometimes commented on staff members' appearance and attire, although generally only to compliment. You should not be complimenting your subordinates' attire. Pack. All right, I'm done.
This video is based on publicly available information, including the Attorney General's report. I'm not making any allegations of criminal wrongdoing, nor am I asserting any legal conclusion. Instead, I'm analyzing the report from the perspective of leadership and workplace culture, considering whether or not this is the kind of person I would want to work for. My comments reflect personal opinions and are intended to foster discussion about the qualities we should expect from our leaders.